Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tyra. In case you're new here, hi, thank you for coming to my channel to watch my video. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. And I just want to get straight into it. This is an impromptu video. It's not the kind of video I normally do, but yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos about coming to this country, coming to live in the UK from Nigeria, not knowing what to expect and being really surprised or shocked on getting here and having to go back to Nigeria and all that, you know, coming on a maybe dependent visa, coming on a student visa, bringing the whole family on a dependent visa and all that, you know, not being able to find accommodation, not being able to afford life here and having to go back. So many different stories, you know, that I've been watching, and I just said to myself, you know what, why don't I just do a video and just talk about it a little bit. Obviously, I don't have all the details about all the different care agencies that people apply to be able to come here and all that, but I have an idea at least of living in this country, what it's like. And recently we have got a couple of friends whose children have come here to study and have spent maybe a week or so with us before going to their universities, you know, and things like that. So I do have an idea of what it's like, you know, and how much these things cost, you know. So anyway guys, if that's what you want to see, please keep on watching. So first and foremost, coming to this country without enough money and bringing a whole family, I think it wouldn't be a wise thing to do. In the 70s, when my parents went back to Nigeria, I was born here. In the 70s, when my parents went back to Nigeria, my mom still stayed behind for about 6 months with me and my brother before going to join my, you know. And, you know, they had to prepare, they had to be sure that, yes, I'm going to get accommodation and get everything ready so the children get their school, so that when they come, they go in. They didn't just come, I mean, they didn't just all go back together at that time, you know. And that was even when Nigeria was even things were very, very easy in Nigeria. Then we didn't even really know how easy things were, because the exchange rate was just the same, like £1 to £1. It's hard to imagine that ever existed, but it did, you know. So obviously I was too young to appreciate that, but now I know, you know. So anyway guys, that's just an aside, you know. I'm just trying to explain to you the reason why you have to plan. If you are coming to this country, you have to have an idea of how much things cost. You have to have an idea of how much money you have, how long it's going to last you, how you are going to be able to afford to get a place, what kind of place you need. And if you feel that you cannot afford to come all together at once, I don't see the harm in waiting. Maybe the person who is coming to study gets accommodation or gets a place, and then tries to get maybe a job, because obviously I think they're entitled to work 20 hours, you know, and then the other person, the dependent, coming with the children later, you know, which I know. I have friends whose family members have done that, you know. So coming together as one and then arriving and not having money to live on and having to go back is quite sad, you know. To put things in perspective, let me just tell you generally how much things cost. To get a room, maybe a single room, it will be hard to get a room, a single room in a house for two people. It will be really hard, except you have a landlord friend or somebody's, maybe a family friend who knows a landlord that is willing to do that, because it's a risk. The council find out, they might not like it, because in fact they won't like it. It's not they might not, they won't like it, because they excuse me, because they want to make sure that the people in the house, they are not too many people living in that house, you know. That's one of the hazards in this country. So it's a health hazard to have too many people living in one house, so they wouldn't want that. And so you run the risk of putting the person who, your host, in trouble, you know. And it has to be somebody who really is really close to you, or close to someone you know, that would really want to take that risk, you know. So that's one thing to consider. So coming to the UK, you can easily get an Airbnb for about £40, £30 a night. So if you have about £500 and you come to the UK, you haven't yet got a job, you still need to sort out your DBS, especially if it's a care job you're coming to do or something. Most jobs now would require at least some level of accountability, and they would want to know that yes, you have people can vouch for you and all that. So in order to get that, you would need to at least have spent a while, maybe a few weeks here, you know, to be able to sort all that out. And as we are here, the money is going. To put things in perspective, let me tell you how much it costs. If you like eating things like jollof rice, and you know this container of jollof rice, party jollof rice they give us when we go to parties, a container like that is about £7 or £8. That's how much it is. Fish and chips, I mean, it's not a delicacy, it's now a luxury. I mean, it's about £7 or £8, you know. You want to be eating just chips on its own without any protein, that's possible. That would be about £2.50 or so. So things are not as easy as people think, you know. And I'm not discouraging people from coming to the UK, but I'm just saying you need to plan. You need to plan how you're going to cope, how you're going to manage, how you're going to live. Bringing the whole family at once is not really wise, especially if you don't know where you're going to stay. And even if you know where you're going to stay, unless you have enough money to maybe rent 2 rooms in a house for a certain amount of time, then it's probably better to just keep, maybe just the person coming to study comes initially and then the family following, maybe in a few months or so. I don't know, at least they will give you a year, you know. So even if you come, the family come 2 or 3 months later, I think it's still okay, you know, because there's no point bringing the children here and then they are just stuck. They haven't got any, because people here, I won't say they are nosy, but they are concerned. People will notice that, oh, these children are just at home, they are not going to school, they are not doing anything, and that can get social services involved, you know. So there's so many things to consider when coming to the UK. You have to plan, you have to get all your information, make sure you know what town. There are different parts, there are different towns, and expenses are different in different towns. In London, for instance, it's very, very expensive to get a room. You might be paying as much as £800 a month for a room in London. But if you are up north, you could probably get something for half that price, you know. So it depends, you know. Cost of transport is very expensive to move from A to Z. You'll be surprised. It's very expensive, you know. So if you are doing that conversion in your head and changing the money from naira into from pounds to naira, and you're thinking, oh, okay, so I'll get a lot of money for this. It's not that. That's not how it works, guys. So really, what I'm just saying in a nutshell is you need to plan. You need to plan how much money you have, how long you're going to spend without a job, how long you think you are going to be able to survive without a job, what you are going to eat, how you're going to survive, you know, until you get a job, you know. And these jobs now are really hard to come by because everybody's coming, you know. People are coming and people are ready to do anything, really. And then you have to be somebody that doesn't mind doing menial jobs to start with. We all started there, you know. So you start with menial jobs, you know. And as time goes on, you'll get something, you know, especially if you're a student, you will definitely get something. You might get a job in a shop, you might get a job, you know, helping out, you know, in the uni and things like that. But you just have to plan it. So it's not a matter of just arriving in UK and then everything is hunky-dory. It doesn't work that way, guys. You know, so I feel sad when I hear about stories about people that arrived after selling everything they had in Nigeria, came here, and then they had to go back because what they met is not what they expected, you know. Yeah, so guys, I'll probably do more of these videos when I get more information of things that can help, you know, and all that. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye, guys.